Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's going on in the collective energy, the energy that's impacting each and every one of us, and how we can use that energy and our understanding of what's going on in the energy to make the most of the cosmic energies that we have going on. This is about empowering you. This is about helping you to understand what you're feeling in this energy. This is all about helping you to understand what's happening to you this week. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk about the messages that I got about the energy, and then we're going to dive into a tarot reading at the end where we build on those messages, where we talk all about or we expand on the messages and we help to create this full picture, this full reading for you for the week. So make sure that you stay tuned, make sure that you watch till the end so that you can get the full picture of the messages. Some of you guys are rock stars. You stick around, you watch the whole thing, and I appreciate it so much. If you make it to the end, let me know. I always appreciate that. I always love to hear that. So, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? What's going on for you here this week in this energy? I am fresh back from the thing in Orlando. It is an event that's for entrepreneurs, and I was one of the speakers there. What an incredible event that was. And definitely recommend it if you are an entrepreneur. I encourage you to go, but I just feel refueled. And more importantly, I just met so many incredible people, so many incredible humans. And like the theme absolutely this week is about connection. It was absolutely a theme last week, so it doesn't surprise me that I met people that I know that I was destined to meet, that I know that I was meant to meet. And so really powerful. But I'm curious, like, what does that look like for you guys? Do you have faded connections that are showing up in your life? Do you have things that are going on with relationships, or do you have just things feeling like they're moving around? I feel like there's a lot of things moving around in our lives. I feel like there's a lot of surprises here in this energy. And we're really always being shown where we're meant to be. And I just feel like it's now starting to really show us and unfold in the ways that it's meant to unfold for us. And so we want to honor that and we want to pay attention to that. I do want to highlight before we dive into the energy that my launch for my hypnosis magic recordings, my rapid hypnosis recording sessions are going to be releasing on Friday. So I will put it down below in the description. I think I put it in the description for this video. So check the description, but there's a link so that you can get on my list so that you get first dibs, because I'm offering only a limited number of those at the original price. So you're going to want to get first dibs, get on my email list. That's what that will do. And then you'll be one of the first people to get those emails and to get dibs to those. So I did a whole video on it, so I don't want to dive too deeply into it, but I'm covering all the things, all the topics. Maybe I'll talk about that when I'm shuffling the cards. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. I always do a little happy dance when I have new people join. So I was talking last week about the tension that was building up. Hi, Meg. Nice to see you here. And yeah, I think we can all feel it. I think we still feel a tension. But I'm watching the way, I think that this energy is so much about connection and interpersonal interactions and interpersonal communication right now. And I'm watching the way that so many people have been not so kind to one another, have been allowing ourselves to be divided and to make assumptions and to make judgments. And I just want to encourage everybody to be mindful of that. We're still in this energy. We're in this energy all month where we have to be mindful about what we say. Remember, I've been saying, like, this is a month that your mouth is going to get you in trouble if you don't take the pause, if you don't think things through before you say what you need to say. And so I think to counter that a little bit, if we can try to show up with a little bit more kindness, a little bit more understanding. I've had the blessing of getting to work with people one-on-one for the past 24 years. And so I've gotten to hear a lot of people's insides. And one thing that I've noticed is that there's never been a time that I've worked with somebody that over time, when they told me their story, when we did some work together, where I really got to know them, there was never a time that I didn't understand why they thought the way they thought, why they did the things that they did. I was never able to arrive or to not arrive at a conclusion that made sense to me based on this person's life path. And I think that this is something that's unique that not everybody gets to experience, obviously, that I get to hear all the time. But I think that if we can operate from this place of this assumption that people are inherently good, and that if we can just take a little bit of time to reserve judgment, to not attack people, to not just say the things that that can be hurtful, that can be unkind, that can be very black and white. Can we be a little more flexible? Can we be a little more loving with one another? Can we be a little bit more understanding? There's been so much division. And I think that like this energy here, if we choose it, can really allow us to lean into a place where there doesn't need to be that division. Can we be kinder? Can we be a little bit more understanding? Even if we don't understand somebody, can we give them, most of the people, some kind of a benefit of the doubt that they are doing the best that they can with the circumstances that they're under? Now, is that true for every single human being? No. And do we need to set boundaries and not give everyone access to us? Absolutely. But kindness and thoughtfulness and reserving judgment will serve us very well here in this energy. And we're being called to serve on a higher level. So many people who are here on earth right now are meant to bring the light to the planet. And so if we're meant to bring the light to the planet, the light warriors need to rise up and shine their light, right? And this is the time you're being called into battle here. And this is a battle of light versus darkness. And so be mindful about what you're putting out there that is, for all intents and purposes, darkness toward some people, right? Marginalizing people. So we just want to make sure that we're being as kind as possible. And so let me know, like, are you a light worker? Are you somebody who wants to shine your light on the world? Are you somebody who wants to be a force of good here in this world? Let me know in comments. Let me know. I am the light. That's what I want you to say. This is like this is a battle cry for you to step into your light. This is so important and so powerful. And we're being called to do it. So let me know. I want you to write, I am light. If you're willing to step into this and to do this and to do your very best to be a force of light here in this world. And a big part of that is to release judgment, is to let that go and to not hold that and carry that. And we all do it. I understand that, but let's do the best we can. Okay, so I'm going to step off this soapbox now, but that felt really important because this energy, as I said, is all about connection. I've had several sessions today, and every single session, I am light, Meg. There you go. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Every single session that I've had today, the primary focus has been in some way, shape, or form on relationships. This is powerful. This is big. I feel like there's a lot of shuffling that's happening with relationships. And we've already been doing some of this work, but we're watching doors closing. We're watching options pop to the surface and should try to like figure out, okay, what most aligns for me in my life. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationship. This is friendships. This is who do I want to surround myself in business. This is how do I want to show up in this world? Like, how do I want to show up within all of my connections? I think that we're asking a lot of really important questions right now. And so it's bringing to the surface all of these revelations about relationships. Like, let it show you. The full moon is coming this week. The full moon is coming on the 15th. And so what is that? Friday, I believe. And this is bringing to light. The full moon is absolutely shining a light on our relationships. It's already happening. It's showing us. And so let people show you in good ways and in bad ways, right? Who's showing up for you? Who is putting the effort in? Who is showing you that they value you? And how are you showing other people? Again, ask yourself, how do I want to show up in relationships? How do I want to be? How can I be the best version of me as I show up in relationships? I think that there's a lot of that. And I think that there's also a lot of faded connections that are coming in and faded connections that are going, right? People who came in for a time and there was a purpose in that, and now it's time for that to go. And then other situations, other people who are coming in and we're meant to connect and we're meant to work together or have relationships together or explore some shared purpose together. This is big relationship stuff. Let's see. Christopher Grant says, what if I'm stuck in something that I know my gut says is not okay, but the other person is psycho and won't leave you alone? Okay. So here's the deal. I love that you asked this question because we're talking about relationships, right? There is such a thing as energetic cords. There is such a thing as energy that connects two people. And when there's been any kind of a connection with one another, you're going to have more of an energetic connection. So, and that's very real, right? This is how, when we have had relationships with people, again, romantic or otherwise, it doesn't have to just be romantic. We can feel how they're feeling, or we can get a sense when they're thinking about us, or things like that, right? Like that when there's that connection, we can read, we can feel energy. And so sometimes like that connection is even stronger. And especially if there's been like some kind of like a toxic pattern or something, there can become these toxic energetic cords that connect you. And it's almost like an umbilical cord is about, like, there's an exchange of energy through the cord. And so if you have decided that your gut says something is not okay. If your gut says something is not okay, it's not okay. That's your intuition telling you it's not okay. And sometimes that's hard to do. But I think in this time, we are making those decisions and we're saying, no, enough is enough. This doesn't work for me. This isn't healthy. This isn't good. But if the other person is psycho and will not leave you alone, I would do some kind of a cord cutting. And you can look that up. But in your mind, you can visualize like cutting the cord between you. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. I would just look that up. Send me a message and I'll let you know too. But yeah, that can be really hard when we're ready to move forward from something and somebody will not let go. And that can actually, the energy can hold you in some ways. And that brings me to another message that I feel really strongly here in this energy is that we want to make sure that we're not trying to control things, that we're not trying to use force as our source of power here this week. Your power isn't in that. Like, this person is you're never going to force your way into the best relationship of your life, right? It doesn't work that way. And so for you, Chris, like you're going to just want to release the energy in some way. Set the intention that you're releasing the energy. You could even like write this person's name on a piece of paper. You could if this is a Taurus full moon, so you could bury it under the full moon. Like, let it go with the full moon. Just say, I'm ready to release this energy. I want to release this energy. I want to let it go. And then say something like, I call all of my energy back. I call all of my power back. That's going to help to give you a little bit more balance with that. And like if you have to take further measures, earthly measures where you have to do some form of intervention, like I don't know like what that means, psycho, like if that's like at a very serious level. But do we have to do there with that? Whether you have to involve law enforcement, whatever, I don't know where that's at, but Anyway, so, but that's very real, and energy is very real. And sometimes it's hard for people to let go. And when we can cut that cord, it helps them and supports them in letting go. But again, to come back to this idea, we cannot force someone to love us. We cannot force somebody to lean into it. And actually, I think the more that people obsess and the more that people focus on these things, you actually repel people completely, because like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel healthy. And so our power in relationships and everything else is in leaning back and just owning the natural power that we have, knowing that we don't have to force anything, that we have a natural power to create the things that we're destined to create, that create a lot of times, if we have a desire, we are destined to create those things. But at the same time, if it's stepping into where you're forcing something, then you're not in flow. We want to be in flow. We want to be setting intentions and allowing the flow to bring in what it wants to bring in, and being open that sometimes we don't know what's best for us. Sometimes we like make terrible decisions for ourselves in relationships and otherwise, right? And so sometimes we have to kind of trust like what is versus what we think that we want. But I think we're going to have a lot of help this week in being shown what does and what does not align for us. And in these beautiful things that are coming in, beautiful fated connections, whether it's for opportunities, for relationships, whatever that is. But this feels really good and this feels really powerful. So I would pay attention to the people that you're connecting to right now, the people that are coming into your life, the people that you're having conversations with. I also feel like here in this energy, we're making some kind of a commitment to ourselves this week. And I would love to hear what that is. If you guys want to put that in comments, right? So Chris, like maybe that's, maybe the commitment is, even though I know that, you know, that this person isn't going to leave me alone, I'm going to end it anyway, because I know that that's what's best for me. Maybe that's your commitment to yourself. But what is your commitment that you're willing to make to yourself this week to set you up for success? Because now we're getting into the end of the year, and I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that are coming through, but we want to be really intentional, and we want to be honoring what we feel called to focus on, what we feel called to be working on right now. That's so key in this energy. And are you willing to make that commitment to yourself? We have the full moon coming up on the 15th, and this is all that build up to it. So pay attention to like what's happening in the build up, and then use the full moon to clear things. Use the full moon to release things in whatever way you want to do. Maybe you make a list and you bury that afterwards, like all the things that you're intending to release. Maybe you do something where you're like clearing, just like saying out loud, I now intend to release from my life. But take advantage of this, whatever you're ready to let go. And then on the other side of that, after you release, what are you willing to commit to yourself? That might be a really fun full moon ceremony that you can use around that full moon. And we're like already in that full moon energy now. So you could do that now. It'll be more powerful on Friday, but you can do that now. So we're going to shuffle the cards, pull some cards, see what they have to say. Anything that you guys feel like, I've become very aware of like how I need to show up in relationship. I've become aware like of how I need to show up in my relationship with myself a little bit better. In how I have been holding myself back through this story that I tell myself that I'm shy and that, you know, I'm busy and things like that. So just making a deeper commitment to myself to show up for myself, because the relationship that you have with yourself is certainly one of the most important things. Oh man, yeah, we're making some decisions this week, guys, for sure. So with my hypnosis package, while I am shuffling the cards, amazing stuff. Like there's all kinds of stuff. We're gonna be talking about upgrading different areas of your life. So these are rapid hypnosis sessions, but it's not just hypnosis. It is. Why is all this? Okay, this. It is it includes neuro-linguistic programming as part of them to help the brain to be even more open and susceptible to the suggestions that we're making. It includes musical frequencies that are included with it to support the goal of the sessions. It is an energy session, so I have programmed a full energy session with all of these. So it's supporting you in all of that. And so I'm covering upgrade your money, upgrade your relationships, upgrade your business and career. What else did I have in there? Let's see, upgrade your confidence, upgrade your health and well-being. And I have my favorite new affirmation riff that is like, you can use it. It's perfect for the morning to start your day off with affirmations that really approach all of the areas of your life so that you can reprogram the mind before you start your day and create something better. Yeah, Chad knows all about stories. He says those stories will get you. That you've kind of made a career out of that, huh? He's the storyteller. I met Chad in person finally at the event that I was talking about this weekend. All right, one more card here. And we'll dive into these. I knew it. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is some shit this week, guys. Okay, but like in a good way. We're moving along. We're taking care of business and getting things done. So the first card is the World card in reverse. So at first we're not moving. At first we're taking a look at, do I dare fully allow myself to close out some kind of a cycle? Do I dare let it go with the full moon? Do I dare truly trust and have faith that all will be well if I allow myself to move away from something that I intuitively know that I need to move away from? That message is for you, Christopher. So paying attention to that, right? Because the World card is the last card. The World card is talking about closing out a cycle successfully if we're willing. And so if we can treat this all like a game, and you've been trying to play the game and trying to be successful at this level of the game, what do you need to do differently when a situation comes up for you this week that feels like the repetition of a pattern? What do you need to do differently in order to successfully complete this level and to level up? That's an important question for us to be exploring this week. We're making big decisions for ourselves, judgment. But I think that we might be a little bit on the fence. I think that we might be a little confused. We might not be sure, okay, what direction do I want to go in? These are the World and Judgment. These are big cards, especially to have right next to each other. So we're making a decision. Am I willing to let parts of my old life die in order to allow for my new life, my new chapter in my life to thrive? And if we can be brave enough, courageous enough to do this, all of the blessings are coming in, right? We've been talking about this new chapter for a while, and this is the week to lean into it. This is the week to say, yep, here I go. Chad says, heck yeah, I am. Heck yeah, you are. Good. Because on the other side of it, there's a celebration, the Three of Cups. There's a connecting and celebrating with our friends, our community, with people that matter to us. This can also be about important connections really coming together. And I feel that so much. I felt that last week. I feel that this week. This is so key, like connections that are worth celebrating in so many ways, but we have to be willing to make room for them. We have to be willing to let go. And like this stuff that I'm talking about is it's stuff we've been working on separating ourselves from a long time. And this is just like the little bits of leftovers that we're still holding on to, thinking like maybe, or maybe just feeling a little scared that we haven't felt ready to let go yet. But I think that we will. I think that we do. And I think that allows us to create a level up for ourselves in our life that is worth celebrating. And right on the other side of that, faded opportunities. All of the ones coming our way. You might find there's a lot of interest in you in many different ways, lots of opportunities coming your way, lots of maybe even money coming your way. Like this is stuff that's coming to us that is helping us. But sometimes like with the Eight of Swords or Eight of Wands, it's like it's so much so fast and we it's like wait a minute, let me just like catch up. I don't know what to do. And you're going to want to make sure that you're only choosing the opportunities that really feel good and right to us. But I think more it's like there's so much excitement and we do just want to make sure that we're not jumping on anything too impulsively and that we're finding that balance, because I think that a lot of things are going to be tugging at our energy this week and we might feel a little more tired. Remember, we're in pre-shadow for Mercury retrograde. We have Pluto moving into Aquarius next week. Like this is big. That's like a full on new, not just a new chapter, that's a new era, and that's happening next week. So we're feeling all of it. We're processing all of it. So find that balance for yourself. And then the next card that we have is the Page of Wands in reverse. Where are you denying yourself something that you are excited about? Where are you denying that for yourself? Where are you preventing yourself from doing something that you know would be fun, that you know would be exciting, that you know would light you up? And like in this case, like, are you doing it for somebody else? Like, are you doing it because somebody else doesn't want you to do it? Like, not allowing ourselves to be influenced so much by the peanut gallery. There are opportunities in this energy to start something new, to start something that you're going to be very passionate about. And I think if we can just follow like what feels exciting, what feels like an adventure, what feels good, even if it feels scary, right? Like when we go on an adventure, sometimes like that does feel scary. That does feel overwhelming. We might feel vulnerable, but it doesn't mean we're not excited about it. It doesn't mean we're not passionate about it. It doesn't mean that we're not supposed to do it. Page of Wands is like an exciting new beginning, but this is showing up in reverse. So we have to be willing to lean into it. If we're insistent on doing things the same way that we've been doing them, we're going to get what we've always had. And that's not very good for a new chapter and certainly not for a new era. So keep that in mind. And so enter the new era, the Tower card. We haven't seen this in a very long time. Shit's going down, shit's changing, things are changing. There is a shift in the air, there is a change in the air. And we're being invited to take a look at what in our lives have we built on a solid foundation that is going to grow and thrive, or we're building the foundation for that now. We want to build strong foundations. We want to make strong connections. We want to allow these strong connections. And what has not been built on a solid foundation, because anything that has not been built on a solid foundation has the likelihood to fall apart this week. So whatever is falling apart, know that that's happening for you. Know that you're being ushered into this new chapter with whoever and whatever is meant to be there for you. So key, so important. Lean into it. Let the old go. Lean into the new. And Earth is changing, and so are we. And I'm really excited to see where this next chapter is bringing us, and to watch it all unfold, and to see how these connections that are coming into our experiences right now and these opportunities are coming in, how that is going to support us on our destined path, on our most purposeful path, on the path that we came here to experience, that we came here. We're following through the plan. What did you come here for? You certainly didn't come here to spend years and years caught in a toxic connection. You certainly didn't come here to ignore what your soul is calling for. You came here for the adventure. You came here for a purpose, every single one of us. So I hope that you guys lean in this week. This is going to be a powerful week. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care.